Hey, good afternoon, everybody. Happy Saturday. It's Hitman23, and I'm doing a video today on a really nice stack of cards I picked up from B-Roth or Card Soup this week. It's one of those things that I jumped on when I saw it because I just couldn't pass it up. You know, sometimes I get on myself because I'm not focused with my collection, or at least I don't think I'm focused because I'm all over the place, buying different things and starting different projects. But that's how I do it, And when, I have things planned out in my collection that I want to get, then I see something else I really want, then I pick that new thing up and it puts the other thing I had on watch, kind of on the back burner. It is what it is. If I come across something that strikes me, I strike and I pick it up, and I could not pass up this sale from Brian. He had a really nice starter stack of 1966 Topps, and I was able to pick up 146 cards out of the 598 in the set for basically a quarter of the set. I will tell you what I paid for it. It was $85 to my door shipped. I think that's just a fantastic deal. There was a few duplications. I think there was maybe 14 or 17 duplicates in the stack. Otherwise, these cards I would say are mid to high mid grade in terms of the shape they're in. Again, I'm not looking to put together a pristine 66 top set. In fact, I wasn't even planning on putting together a top set up until I saw these. And then Brian's like, "Hey man, you putting a 66 set together?" And I'm like, "Well, I am now." So that's just how it rolls. And so I'm going to show you what I picked up from him. The first little grouping I'll show you are the horizontal cards. So I got the Braves, Rookie Stars, got the Senators. There was one high number card in this lot. The Mets, Cleon Jones had a pretty, nice little career for the Mets. Bobby Tolan, he had that stand-up straight batting stance. Tommy Agee, again, played, he was on the Mets Miracle team in 1969. I've never heard of these guys. Maybe Mangini can tell me a little bit about those guys. Again, Senators players I've never heard of. Byron Brown was a Topps All-Star rookie in 66, so in 67 he did have a trophy card. And we got a couple of leaders cards. We got the 65 strikeout leaders, Sudden Sam McDowell, Mickey Lolich, Denny McLain, and Sonny Siebert. If you didn't realize, Mickey Lolich had the most strikeouts for a left-handed pitcher. I think he broke the record in like the mid 70s, maybe 75, because I believe he had a 76 record breaker, and he held that up until into the 80s when Steve Carlton took over that leadership role, and then of course that was blown away through with Randy Johnson. But he was the highest total left-handed pitcher for a while in the history of the major leagues. So Mickey Lolich had a really solid career for the Tigers, and then I think he finishes up career with the Mets and the Padres. So that's a cool one. We got the ERA leaders, as you can see. Again, we had Sam McDowell and Sonny Siebert on that card as well. So pretty good pitching season for those guys. We got the Reds team set. Love team sets. Wish Topps would go back to making, not team sets, I'm sorry, team cards. I wish Topps would go back to making these. This is just so cool. And I like the fact that they put the place the team came in on the back. You got the Dodgers, who were in first place in 65. They won the World Series in 65. And you can see here in the back what the backs look like of those. So they beat the Twins that year. Got the Angels. And then we got the Gigantes. So very cool. And then a couple of the checklist cards, which are fantastic. They're not marked or anything, so those are great. Checklist cards are tough, guys, especially from these 60 sets. Kids actually used to use them what they were intended for, checklisting their cards, making the marks on there, So let's do another quick stroll through here. So we got, a Felipe Alou card. Rico Cardi, Dennis Menke, John Kralik, Duke Sims, Don McMahon, Jim Landis, probably on a different team the prior year. Looks like he was a Kansas City A the prior year. Some sort of airbrush job. Got Leon Wagner. Like I said, these cards are in really nice shape. A couple of creases here and there, but again, nothing that's going to shut me out or turn me away. So, Fred Whitfield. John Ceturis. I would assume that's how it's pronounced. Jim Maloney was a pretty good pitcher for the Reds in the 60s. And I got the Veda. I was psyched about that. But the Veda was in this set here. Art Shamsky near the batting cage. He was famous for the dog's name, and everybody loves Raymond because Art Shamsky played on the '69 Mets, and in the show, Raymond and his brother were both big Mets fans, and Robert named his dog, the English Bulldog, Shamsky, after Art Shamsky. Chico Ruiz. You got some Mets and nice chunk of Mets here. Chuck Hiller, Al Luplo. Some of these guys I've never heard of before. Johnny Stevenson, that's nice looking card, like that. Ed Kranepool, he was like the original Met. He played his entire career for the Mets, came onto the team when they started and played through the 1979 season. So he's part of my one franchise project, and we got a nice trophy card of Ron Swoboda. I've already had that one, but I'll always definitely take another one. That one will reside in my trophy cup collection, and that one will reside in the set itself. Don Napoleon. Twins, shout out to Dustin and Blake. Got Jimmy Hall, Al Worthington, Sandy Valdespino, Joe Nosek, Jerry Zimmerman, Don Demeter. I think he played for the Phillies before the Tigers for a couple years. Now there's another card of Mickey Lolich. That's his solo card. Definitely had a really solid career. Hank Aguirre, Ron Nischwitz. And again, old Yankee Stadium back there. You see a lot of these cards are taken in Yankee Stadium. Jerry Lumpy, Chuck Tresson, Bill Freehan, all-time Tiger. Played his entire career there. Awesome catcher. Could make an argument for, borderline Hall of Fame. I think he won like 11 Gold Gloves. He was an all-star in the late 60s. Very good player. And we got our Angels here. Frank Malzone, he was a long Red Sox before the Angels. Vic Power. He hit with some power, He hit in the teens in the home runs. So I always like when baseball players are named something, like about baseball. It's interesting. Marcelino Lopez Trophy Cup card. Boring. I'll be Pearson. Al Spangler. Aubrey Gatewood. These are great cards. Jim Fregosi. Don't think that's his rookie. No, I don't believe that's his rookie. Boog Powell. Big power hitter for the Orioles for most of his career. He definitely, I would say, is an all-time Oriole. Like that card because of the batting cage in the back. But there's big old Boog Powell. Stu Miller, who I believe was an Orioles pitching coach in the 80s, if I'm not mistaken. Dave McNally was part of the... Oh, man, don't quote me on it, but I believe it was him and Jim Palmer and Mike Cuellar and Pat Dobson for maybe the 70 Orioles. I believe they all won 20 games. I think it was the first time ever and only time since that he had 4 20-game winners on the same team. I don't think you'll ever see that again. But I believe it was 1970, early 70s for sure. Bob Johnson, Milt Pappas. Milt Pappas is kind of a known name. There we go. No set is complete without a Woody held card. Love it. And there's Jerry Lynch. Shout out to Don's Field of Dreams and to John Mangini. A lot of Pirates fans out there in YouTube land. Jose Pagan. Jim Pagliaroni. Jim Rice-A-Roni. Don Schwal. Frank Carpin. Don Cardwell. Vern Law. I think he was... I have to research. I think he may have been an only Pirate, but I'm not 100% sure on that. I'll look that one up. He could be going into my one franchise project. Harry Walker, the manager. Then we get into the Astros. Mom Harris, Rusty Staub, cool card. Lee May. 66 Topps is a nice set. Nice design. You know, not one of my favorites of the 60s, but I think it's a nice clean design, definitely. I don't dislike it. But, you know, again, opportunity knocks, you got to answer the door. And it's just fun building sets, man. It's just fun. Ooh. Ah! That's funny. Don Kessinger was a longtime Cub. Bob Buell. Matty Alou. The famous Alou brothers. Matty, Felipe, and Jesus. Jim Davenport's part of that all-time or, you know, one franchise project because he plays his entire career with the Giants, so got to do that. And then the last little bit here, guys. Chuck Schilling, no relation to Kurt, as far as I know. Jim Gosker. I just showed you a Jim Gosker card in the 1970 Topps Pilots team set. Bob Tillman. Dave Moorhead. And again, let's just look at the back of these real quick. Just a regular card with the, you know, the interesting information in the middle there. Little cartoon. You know, the stats in the bottom. And, of course, the, we call the demographics up top. Jim Lonborg had a nice baseball career. Billy Herman. There's a nice Rico Trophy Cup card. I've already got that in the Trophy Cup set, but this one will be part of my, temporarily at least, I'll throw that in my one franchise project until I, you know, get more. So, Bob Doliba. Don't know who that is. Tommy McCraw. Ken Berry. It's a nice food entry there. Gary Peters. Al Weiss. He had a Rookie Cup card in the 1964 Topps set. J.C. Martin had a Rookie Cup card in the 1962 Topps set. Eddie Fisher, not related to Carrie Fisher. That's not her father. That Hall of Famer Walt Alston, longtime Dodger manager. Nick Wilhite. Got Jeff Torborg. He caught a few no-hitters in his career. Johnny Roseboro. I think he's the guy. Didn't Juan Marichal attack him with a bat or something? I believe so. Or maybe he attacked Juan Marichal with a bat. They definitely had a brawl back in the 60s. Jim Brewer. Lou Johnson. Jim Lefevre. And there's Wes Parker. I just talked about Wes Parker the other night when I did my rummage. And there he is again, of the Brady Bunch fame. Go watch my rummage video. You'll see the little tidbit of information. Some Phillies. You got Gary Wagner. We got Alex Johnson. Cookie Rojas. Awesome. Look at those glasses. Got Adolfo Phillips. Bo Belinsky. Then we get into the Senators. Howie Koplitz. Dick Nen. Don Locke. Mike McCormick. Ken Hamlin. You guys can read the names. Renee Latchman with the chaw right there. He was a manager in the majors in the 80s and early 90s. Bert Campaneris. He had a Rookie Cup card in the 65 top set. Jose Tartable, father of Danny Tartable. And there it is. Shout out to Reindeer Studios. The Don Mossi, of course. He looks like he's about 87 years old on this card. Crazy, right? Like, crazy. So he was born in what? 1930? 30? Yeah, it looks... guys, I can't read. It looks like 1930. So, yeah, if it's 1930, he was only 36 years old on this card, or maybe 35 years old, because when it was taken. He looks like he's 87. It's just so funny. Ha! Maybe not 87, but 67. That is just too much. Another Trophy Cup card. And I don't know what he's looking up. I always remember that card. Staring up to something. I don't know if he's just annoyed being there or what, but that's just a memorable card for me. Nelson Briles, Don Dennis, 2 first names. Dick Groat. I think he was a long-time Pirate shortstop, wasn't he? Or, yeah, decent-time Pirate shortstop. There's Tito's dad, Tito Francona. So here we got a father-son or family tree there. And then my Yankees, we got Roger Repos, Hector Lopez, good utility player for sure. Ruben Amaro, father of Ruben Amaro Jr. Jim Bouton, who wrote that famous book, Ball 4, when he was a Seattle Pilot. Hal Reniff, Jake Gibbs. And the last but not least, the high number card, is this Jim Northrup. That's card number, was like 554. And yes, of course, the high numbers in the 60s are tough cards. So, yeah, this set will be, a long time before I could ever even sniff completing it. But I think getting a quarter of it, at the price I did when I did was just a no-brainer. So, again, I thank Brian Roth and his company, Card Soup. I appreciate you, brother. And that's it, guys. That's my little showcase of my 1966 Topps, I guess you could say, starter set. So you guys enjoy the rest of your weekend. Let's keep in our thoughts those who laid their life down for us this weekend. Yes, we celebrate with hot dogs and beer and hamburgers, but we really make sure we remember why we're doing that. It's for the men and women who laid down their life for us to have our freedoms and our way of life. So that's it, guys. I'll catch you at the next video. And remember, may the cardboard God shine down upon each and every one of you.